now the CEO of TSEG, but you weren't always the CEO. You were once just a waiter at a Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, this is Joe Devine, our owner's favorite story, and it's a hit sometimes. So, little backstory about me: I grew up great family, but played baseball in college my whole life. Wasn't really focused too much, but I chose business because I was like, why not? Had a professor in college that, like, everyone has that negative connotation of sales. Everyone's like, oh, never do sales, never do cold calling. Like, that's the worst. And no one at a college wants to do sales. And then a professor walked in and was like, everything is sales. And everyone's like, oh, whatever, right? And he's like, well, why are you wearing that shirt? And like the guy that he asked was just like kind of silent. He's like, you're wearing that shirt because you think it looks good on you. You're selling yourself. In this entire room, you wore that, you put that shirt on to sell some version of yourself. And it was like, he kind of just went through and did that for a good 10 minutes. And I was like, I can do sales. So, fast forward like another year. I had just graduated college. Clearly I wasn't going to go pro in baseball. I'm 6'1". You gotta be a lot.
I mean, Jose Altuve is just down in Houston. He's 5'4".
Yeah, but I wasn't Jose Altuve. I was a contact hitter, got on base, and I was happy about it.
But you look like you could run fast. You had long legs.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you can advance the next base. I was a contact hitter that rolled at first base, then maybe had a chance to go to second.
Yeah. So I was kind of dragging my feet. Just graduated college. What am I going to do with my life? I was waiting tables, having a blast actually. And one day, it was a Tuesday morning, which I never worked. It was a shift that I wasn't supposed to work. And we had a employee appreciation party the night before. So I reluctantly picked up this Tuesday morning shift when I knew I was going to be.
And where is this in the world?
This is in Austin at Dave & Buster's.
Dave & Buster's on a Tuesday morning.
On a Tuesday morning. Shift I wasn't supposed to work. And that morning I was so hungover, I was this close to calling in, like this close. Like I was so hungover and dehydrated, I was dry heaving in the shower, like no joke. And then I pulled myself together. I was like, it's a Tuesday morning. No one's going to be there. Like, I'll be fine.
How old are you at this point, by the way?
22.
Yeah.
So I'll be fine. I show up Tuesday morning. Everyone sees me. They're like, oh, this poor soul. And the manager at the time comes to me. He's like, hey, small pop-up party. Like, nothing to worry about. They're just doing foods. They're not even going to be drinking. And I was like, okay, I can handle this. Pull myself together. I walk up, and it's Joe Devine and a couple of owners, and I was like, oh, what would you like to drink? Expecting, like, teas, waters, jacket diet. And I'm like, here we go. So 2 hours of, probably actually 4 hours. Dave & Buster's is a huge place. I'm sprinting around, drink to drink to drink. These guys could drink. And fast forward, Joe closes out after I'm like sweating, and he asked me, he goes, you're hungover, aren't you? And I was like, you have no fucking idea. And he goes, if you would have lied to me, then I wouldn't have said come work for us. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And he's like, come in for an interview. So a week later, came in for an interview, and now we're here.
Wow. And now you're the CEO of that company.
Yeah.
So how many years ago was that?
12 and a half years ago.
I mean, it just shows an incredible story how alcohol can actually pave your way for success, which I'm a big believer in, obviously. That's in Austin, so this, wow.
Yeah.
Do you still go back to Dave & Buster's?
I do, and it's pretty wild. There was a guy that still worked there. I went back with my family, completely took care of me. I worked there for a year, completely took care of me, comped the bill. I was like, yeah, I tell your story to the new hires that, are just treating this like a waiter job. You never know who you're going to meet. So make sure you're working your ass off.
For those of you that are watching or listening, Chris is a new dad. Brooklyn was born when? February, March? How old is she? February. Mm-hmm. So you're almost, 8 months, 9 months in?
7.5, yeah.
7.5, exactly. How many hours, how many days, how many weeks?
Just you can see it in my face.
As soon as, when I found out they named their daughter Brooklyn, I love the name, and I literally texted him. I was like, "No sleep till Brooklyn." Like, get ready because that's going to be in your head.
Yeah, that's about right. Luckily, my wife has done an amazing job and carried most of the load, especially overnight time, so I can function at work, which is just amazing. But it's not easy. And like, speaking of that, if I didn't go into work on that Dave & Buster's day, I would have never met my wife. Would never have Brooklyn, which is because that's how I met my wife.
So how
at
did
work.
you met her at Dave & Buster's?
No, at work.
Oh, at TSEG.
Yeah.